Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Urban Legends video. With the last video talking about an urban legend within one of the Super Mario games, I was reminded of an urban legend associated with yet a previous Super Mario game, this time being the game that was introduced on the Nintendo 64, the flagship game if you could call it, the Super Mario 64. Very, very good game. I still consider it either the number one or the number two game I've ever played, tops, like in terms of rankings, only challenged by Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So those two games, depending on the mood I'm in, they're either number one or number two on my list. And with regards to the urban legend associated with Super Mario 64, it's finding essentially Luigi within the game. And it's a pretty popular urban legend. It's one that still continues to this day, with regards to people thinking, I found him, or these are the ways that you can find him. But everything you've ever read, anything at all you would read in the past or now or in the future associated with this urban legend, is unfortunately false. And it's a shame too, because as much as I love that game, Super Mario 64, my god, I remember I spent hours and hours just playing that game. So addictive, so beautiful, especially the fact that each level had its own little mini missions. So when you finished a level, it wasn't it. You could go back in and do another challenge, and then do a third challenge, and then do a fourth challenge. That's what made the game great. But what could have made it absolutely spectacular is if Mario's famous brother Luigi was somewhere in there, but alas, it was not to be. So now, on a practical reason, the reason why Luigi essentially wasn't in the game is time. Really, that's about it. And in fact, the first clue that people should have gotten that Luigi was not going to be in the game is based on the title of the game, Super Mario 64. You notice how in some of the other previous games it was always Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers. This time though, it's just Super Mario 64. That should have given a clue to everybody out there that Luigi was not going to be on the game. But still, people are still fanatic about it, and there's still people that are swearing that yes, and you'll see pictures here, for example, showcasing that there he is, he's found, this is the ways to do it. But unfortunately, again, as I mentioned earlier, it is all 100% completely a hoax on there. But yeah, it was as simple as that. The makers of Mario 64, they just didn't have any time to incorporate Luigi within the game. They were on a time crunch apparently, and because of that, they couldn't, I guess, work enough code or work enough levels, anything along those lines, to have Luigi associated with it. And it was as simple as that. But people still, and the reason why people think is because some of the previous games of course had Luigi, and then there are images like this one here where you see a mysterious looking plaque with some inscription on there, stating something that's unreadable. And the fact that it's unreadable just adds that much more allure to it, because it encourages people to try to come up with their own conclusion as to what that particular item states on there. I was reading somewhere that the reason why the statue looks like this, like the plaque in other words, looks like this, is because the capacity of the texture for, I guess, the game right in that scene, it's not able to handle, I guess, the water and what's written on there at the same time. So thinking that nobody's really going to bother with the particular what the plaque says, the makers of the game, because they knew the engine couldn't handle the texture on there, just put gibberish, just put texture that makes no sense on there at all. Because again, it's not meant to be read, it's just meant there as a background. But people that have looked at this swear that it stands for something, and the most common text is that this reads is, it's the letter L, and then the words is real, followed by the number 2401. So again, people believe that this plaque says L is real 2401, with the idea being that the L stands for Luigi, and that the 2401 has to do with something within the game, most likely collecting the number of coins on there within the game itself. And once you do that, then you've got him. You've got Luigi on there. Others have posted instructions on how to get Luigi, involving, I guess, going to Big Boo's haunt, jumping over Big Boo, pressing the R button while in the air, performing a specific ground pound. Then you enter the ghost house and use the ground pound attack to defeat any ghosts that are in there. Then running across the bridge, going up a lift, jumping into a hole to find the room with a mirror. It's that really technical stuff that people just really make up almost to try to drive people insane, to make them think if you do this amazingly long set of tasks and you do it with precise 100% precision, then you've accomplished something almost nearly impossible, and the reward is this is for you on there. So and if you see anything like that within any of the websites out there, don't do it, because if you do so, you're just pretty much wasting your time on there. Even Nintendo themselves, I mean, they've never gone ahead and, for the record, said Luigi is in the game anywhere, because they didn't have to. It's anybody that's known the history of the game knows that he's not in there. And by now, with so many hacking capabilities, people being able to go into the game down to the code itself, nobody has found anything related to Luigi on there. And there have been past instances, like for example the aforementioned the Ocarina of Time game, where certain models are inside there. Like there was a Star Fox fighter within the game itself that's found in there, but it's hidden. It's deeply hidden, probably done as some kind of test run rather than something that really was going to be in the game, but it was left in there completely hidden and blocked unless someone hacked it. And so that's the example that I'm giving here, is that if Luigi was truly within the Mario 64 game, somebody would have found it by now. Somebody would have taken an original Super Mario 64 game by now, one that was not done anytime soon, but done on the original release dates, the years when the game first came out, and they would have found him by now, because they would have found all the original files and used it on there. But again, all the pictures that you see here, that's everybody just using the same hacking tools to force Luigi in there. So interesting theory, though. Who knows, maybe one day somebody will come out with something that says, yes, if you do something along these lines, then Luigi was in there. That'd be so funny if something was found that truly did have Luigi within Super Mario 64. But otherwise, interesting though. It looks like Nintendo kind of did a favor for Luigi after all, because he wasn't in this game. Then with the release of their next console, which was the Gamecube, they made Luigi into a front and center character. I think it was called Luigi's Mansion. I can't remember the title of the game on there, but you'll see a picture of it here. And it was kind of reverse. This time, instead of it involving all Mario, this time it was all 100% Luigi, again as a nice token of appreciation for him hanging out during the previous game, and now him being given the Central Star status on there. But has anybody heard about this particular urban legend before? It's a pretty popular one. Again, anything involving the realms of video games still going on even after all these years. With regards to the original release of Super Mario 64, it's still out there. I mean, the stuff I was looking on online, it's posted as recently as about 2012 about ways to try to get Luigi within Super Mario 64. So again, that's how the longevity that this particular urban legend has. Pretty cool stuff on there. So alright everybody, thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.